You are watching a Dime a Dozen on MTGO Academy featuring Jason Moore.
Hi, folks. This is MTGOacademy.com. My name is Jason Moore, and I'm welcoming you to the latest installment of Dime a Dozen, Dozen. We are playing in a Pauper daily event. As you can see before you, we are playing Affinity, one of my favorite decks in the format. Now, I have to warn you before we even get started that the videos you're about to see are from a daily event that is nearly 2 weeks old or so. So, we're actually playing Treasure Cruise instead of this perilous research that you see here. This is a daily event that occurred before the Treasure Cruise bans actually took place. So it's a bit of a time traveling thing that we're going on here. If that's going to be offensive for you, these might not be the matches you want to see. But if you want to take a stroll down recent memory lane, then I think you won't be too disappointed. Now, Affinity is a deck that you're probably going to see me playing quite a bit in the future as well. I think it's a super, super, super solid deck. And it's got so many great synergies going on, a lot of strengths, and this particular list has some interesting inclusions. So currently I'm playing 17 lands, and that's been based off of some of my testing where in the late game I ended up getting flooded a bit because of the card draw in the deck. And I think because of Springleaf Drum and some of our faster starts, having 17 lands it seems reasonable so far. Now, we are playing an Auriok Sunchaser version of Affinity. So, our mana base is going to incorporate these 4 copies of Ancient Den, just 1 copy of Darkstill Citadel. This one doesn't produce a color, so it's the least important one. And then we've got, all the other on-color artifact lands from the Mirrodin block. Now, I'm also playing 12 turn 1 artifacts. Springleaf Drum is going to be the most explosive of these. Our Springleaf Drum opening hands are very awesome because we get to do a turn 1 land into Drum. Turn 2 we play another land. We play a Frogmite for 1 mana because we have 3 artifacts. And then we get to also play Carapace Forger, a Tog, Sunchaser. One of those is going to be a follow-up. So we end up getting like 6 or more power on the board across 2 bodies on turn 2. There are also some multiple Frogmite draws where we can have Frogmite, and then play a Mirror Enforcer. So we have 8 power on the board on turn 2 across 3 bodies. That's really crazy. And you know it. Don't deny it. You know. Alright, so we also have the Chromatic Star here as a turn 1. That makes sense. We sacrifice it with a Tog. It still draws us a card. But then the weird one is for Chromatic Sphere. And I've been testing this for a while. I like it actually. It was suggested to me by a clanmate, Dog Biscuit. So thank you very much. I was running Terrarians. But this one you can use right when it enters play. So that's the benefit there. It does not draw you a card when you sack it to a Tog. So you guys need to consider that when you're making your plays. So that's our turn 1s. Obviously we have these fat threats. Sunchaser is probably the worst of the threats besides Frogmite. Frogmite's really necessary in the deck. Sunchaser is not necessary, but I wanted to try a version that is just throwing creatures onto the board, jamming these threats down the opponent's throat, and it's really, a lot of them are interchangeable in a way, because it's really, in some cases, the last threat standing that ends up killing them. Now, okay, again, Sunchaser at least is evasive, not as big as the other guys, but I've been okay with it so far. Obviously, we have the Forgers and the Mirror Enforcers, fat 4/4s to just beat them down. And then we have one of the biggest creatures in the format, which is a Tog. And this sets up, basically when the dust is settled and they've killed a bunch of our creatures, they've thrown everything they can at our board, we start resolving a Togs. And we threaten to destroy them because we have all of these artifact lands, we have all of these 1 mana artifacts on the board, and a Tog is just huge. They can't afford to get hit by it. And then even if they can leave up blockers, we have the Fling combo where you just sack your entire board to a Tog and you throw Fling at their face. This actually beats opponents, I would say, 40 something percent of the time. 40 or so percent of my wins. And this is just a random guesstimate off the top of my head. Comes from Fling, so it's really a big deal. It seems like such jank, but it's really not. It's awesome. Okay, so our card draw is for Thoughtcast and Perilous Research, but in the matches you're about to see, it's actually one copy of Treasure Cruise. Not going to make a huge difference, but Treasure Cruise, I mean, was an awesome card. It's no longer in the format, RIP to Treasure Cruise, but, you know, Perilous Research, there's some versions of Affinity that really are built around research because they play Ichor Wellspring, they play less threats. I don't like the less threats idea, so we're trying one. My sideboard is also just weird. You have to consider the decks I was expecting to face at the time. They're not necessarily here anymore, but we have Relic of Progenitus for any type of Tortured Existence, Dimir, Gurmag Angler, really graveyard-focused deck. 3 Hydroblast will take on the Mirror. It'll take on Burn. It'll take on any other red decks. 2 Electrickery for Hexproof and the White Weenie Tokens deck. However, that deck, when it was popular, it's kind of losing popularity right now, can play around this pretty well. So this actually isn't a great answer against their deck. Sometimes it's awesome, but not as great as you would think overall. We also have 2 Echoing Truth, though, which can screw up their tokens no matter how big they are. Take out a bunch of bird tokens with this, so you basically kill 2 of their battle screeches and mess up their combat because they think they're about to absolutely demolish you. And then we just send some tidal waves their way and things start to change. 1 Journey to Nowhere. Well, we're playing white, but I mean really there are some problematic creatures. Against Affinity, Fangren Marauder is public enemy number 1. And Gurmag Angler is another big guy. It's a 5/5, and when we're playing a deck full of 4/4s, so that's actually a big deal. It's a big problem. So having this journey has been pretty well appreciated, I would say. 3 copies of Pyroblast. This card is awesome. And then 3 copies of Ancient Grudge for the mirror match. Alright guys, this is Affinity. I really like this deck. I'm going to keep playing it. I hope you guys enjoy watching it, because there's going to be more of this coming down the pipeline. Thank you so much for watching here at Dime a Dozen. Hi folks, this is Jason Moore here, and we're in a Pauper Daily event, as you can see. You might notice something interesting next to our MTGO ID, Bamboo Rush. That's this one right here. Our opponent does not exist. We have a bye this round. I apologize in advance, I did not know this was going to happen. So there's not going to be any video content of an intense epic battle for this round. Instead, the video is actually going to end quite soon. But I hope to see you all very soon. In round number 2, we are already up 1-0, which is a blessing in disguise. Or maybe a blessing in this bye. Talk to you guys later. Alright guys, it's round 2. We're here playing our very first match, ironically. Or strangely enough, I guess I should say. And this hand's a little crappy because we have to crack a star to get Auriok Sunchaser, and we have 2 flings that aren't going to do anything for a while. I still think I'm going to keep. There's several sequences of draws that can make this pretty strong for us. I'm going to lead on Seat of the Synod. Sometimes you get into positions in the early/mid turns where you want to just Thoughtcast before playing a land. We're playing against a Delver deck, so that's actually should be pretty good for us. And here's a Springleaf Drum, but I do think we want to go ahead and play our Sun Chaser now. He could have red, so he might be able to burn it away, but I guess he'd be able to do that without us having Metalcraft anyway, or with us having Metalcraft. I hope I'm making sense. This doesn't seem like I'm making any sense right now. Okay, he's blue. He's going to snap it. Alright, so this first game definitely not going very well, especially because we don't have color going on. And we're taking 5. That's another reason it's not going very well. Treasure Cruise, not the best draw here. So I think we just have to play 2 Springleaf Drums. And that's kind of sad. But it opens up a lot of things for us. We have a lot of live draws, but we have barely any time to get by right now. So let's see what he does. If he keeps something on top, I think it's likely going to be his 3rd land. He's got nice art for his lands. Did we wish him good luck? Yeah. He kept both cards. So it's looking like our first play at the very least is going to get countered. Here's a sphere. I mean, at this point, I don't know that we can afford to do anything other than crack this and go for it. So there's an Enforcer. We have 5. So I think I'm going to play the Sun Chaser first. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to counter it. And we have one more turn to resolve something. And even if we do, we're likely going to have to fling. Ooh, okay, he's gushing. So he's going to get a land. I mean, our best hope is that he forgets to attack. Not forgets, but like clicks past a step. This is exactly the kind of hand he needs to beat us. This is one of the more blistering hands I've seen. Turn 2 flip and equip. Yeah, there's really no chance anything is gonna work out for us. I mean, it really doesn't matter here. I mean, maybe he'll let us have it. He's actually going to let us have it. So I can't play the Atog. I just have to go for the Fling. I don't really have a choice. I don't have the mana or anything. So maybe he flashes in a Spell Stutter Sprite. But I think this game is just swiftly over. Ooh, okay. Well, I can't pay for that, huh? So we'll just F6. And we're going straight to game 2. That was brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. We didn't really see much else of his deck. We see that he's playing Daze and Gush. So he's almost already set up for a non-Treasure Cruise kind of format. Against mono blue decks, I tend to like cutting Fling because it's a very counterable spell. And there's a chance we can cut some other stuff. I think instead of Fling, we should play Pyroblast. We also might want to cut some Galv Blasts because Pyroblast does just about everything we want Galv Blast to do. And more, because it actually counters spells. Galv Blast can still hit Spire Golem, and it can still hit the face, but we're really going to beat them with our board position. Because this is more of an attrition-y matchup, they're going to be countering our spells and bouncing our spells. I think it's important for us to leaving Treasure Cruise. Auriok Sun Chaser is going to fight through most of his creatures pretty well, so I don't want to cut that. Frogmite's pretty integral to our starts. And Atog is going to eventually just bash through all of his creatures. So I think this is how we want to have our deck set up. You know, Ancient Grudge is a consideration because they can hit that Bone Splitter. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in one for a Galv Blast. Journey's also something to consider. Electrickery, I've seen Affinity decks bring in against Delver. I'm not too interested in that. I could see cutting one Galv Blast here for a Grudge. We're going to try that out. And we're going to submit. You know, a lot of the time we have a decent matchup against Delver, but that start was just so insane that I don't know what to say. Alright, let's go ahead and play first. Let's get some redemption. So this hand looks really strong. I'm going to keep. We can go Forger into some other stuff. We have a Galvanic Blast. We have a Thought Cast. Let's see if the opponent mulligans. He keeps. So he might have been deciding on a one-lander of some sort. He's got a Preordained, much better than seeing a Delver. So right off the jump, Carapace Forger on turn 2 could be a problem for him. What it does is it presents a threat that he needs to snap or Curse of Chains very quickly. And I think I want to land that because I want to see what else we're going to draw before I crack my Chromatic Sphere. Cracking the Sphere hurts our Thought Cast and it cuts us off of our colors, these other possible colors. So there's a Narcolepsy. And now we have to decide what we want to do. We have a Pyroblast, so I could burn it. We have 3 artifacts, so this costs 2. So we could Thought Cast here. Gives him the opportunity to cast something. We could also just... I don't want to crack this yet, so I'm going to draw 2 cards. I wouldn't normally do that, but... Here we're going to leave up red. I don't think we're going to go with the Narcolepsy on... or a Pyroblast on the Narcolepsy. Because I kind of want to use this to interact with him. So let's see what he does here. A Trinket Mage. So I don't know what he gets with Trinket Mage, but I'm going to counter this. It gives him a body, and it gives him some extra value. So he's actually mono blue control. He's not Delver. We have 5 artifacts, so I think we want to just slam down our most furious threats, and that's going to be Mirror Enforcer and Atog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do that. And maybe I should have sequenced it differently to play around days, but fortunately we did not get punished there. Alright, he's up to 4 mana. And he's going to have an arrows. Okay, that's fine. So Atog's going to get hurt by that. We have some other things to threaten with. So I think we're just going to attack here. I think he's going to ping the Atog. Still going to take 4. And we're going to follow up with some pretty serious threats. I'm not interested in saving my Atog. Let's add white. See what we draw. We draw a land. So I'll play the land. And play 2 more threats out. This hand is pretty fast and furious, as you can see. I wonder what he gets with Trinket Mage. I can't actually think. He could get a Seed of the Synod. He could get something along the lines of Viridian Longbow. Oh, he gets Bone Splitter. We saw the Bone Splitter in his hand. So maybe he's just Delver that's also splashing for Trinket Mage. And let's not forget we have this 4 damage here, Galvanic Blast. But our board's looking good. We're threatening about 9 damage. Yep, there's a Spire Golem. There's a Delver of Secrets. He's leaving up 2 mana for Counterspell. And he's going to kill a Tog. There's no point in saving it because he's putting permanent counters on our creatures. So I'm going to attack for 7. We have another Mirror Enforcer. So actually I think I'm going to threaten with Galv Blast. And then I'm going to cheat in or sneak in the Mirror Enforcer. I think this is the creature I want to blast because then we get to attack with Frogmite. If we don't kill this, then we don't get to. Okay. Now we attack with our 4/4 and 3/3, which he can double block the 3/3 if he wants. I'm actually okay with that, I think. He'll probably just wait, yeah. And we have just a hellish board for him to deal with, but he does have a couple cards in hand. One is a counter spell, and now he has a Bone Splitter, so now he's going to fight us off. He's also shrinking one of our Mirror Enforcers, so this is actually really interesting. That arrows makes the difference here. So if I attack with the whole team, he can put. That's an interesting choice to actually equip the Delver. I think that's a mistake. I think he should equip the Spire Golem. Then Delver can trade with Sun Chaser. Spire Golem can eat an Enforcer because he can ping it down to a 3/3. But as the board stands now, I'm not sure what he's looking to do. I guess he's looking to kill Sun Chaser by pinging it and blocking with Spire Golem. So if I attack with both Enforcers, we're going to lose one. But he's going to take, looks like 4 damage. We know he has a counter spell. So do I want to just, I think we just want to force him to expend the counter. Actually, Enforcer doesn't die. That's what I'm saying. He should have equipped the Spire Golem. I think that's actually a mistake. So we know his last card is Counterspell. Right? So he can profitably block and trade 1. And we're going to play this. I don't think he would counter it in his right mind. So that goes away. We know he's going to equip the Spire Golem. We know he has a counter spell. If he leaves up 4 mana, it's likely he has 2. He's actually attacking. So he's a ninja. Okay. He's leaving himself very vulnerable, though. Because if he plays a Spire Golem... Oh, never mind. Well, that worked out for him pretty well. That worked out for him incredibly well. So we can't do anything here. Wow, that really worked out for him. But that's sometimes what happens with Delver, or sorry, with Ninja. Can sometimes just pull you into the card you want. Well, we got to get something countered, but hopefully after that he starts flooding out. It's our best, our best chance here. So he's just wondering, do I attack with Spire Golem and then equip my other guy? And the answer is hell no. Wow, and we're kind of flooded too, but I'm still going to play out all this stuff. It's better for a Tog. And okay, so if he attacks here, I'm going to block with the Frogmite. Oh, okay. Doesn't attack. So he has 2 cards now. I don't want to cast this just yet. If I attack with everybody, he can kill the Mirror Enforcer. Nah, we can't attack with everybody. So our attacks are bad. Attacking with everybody's bad. And so on and so forth. We're going to hold the Atog. It's possible he has 2 counters. So now we have an Ancient Grudge, which is freaking amazing. So I'm going to bait out with the Atog because, well, actually I'm not sure. So we for sure kill the Spire Golem. We start attacking in the air. Yeah, that seems... I kind of want Atog to resolve, though. Because Atog will kill everything. So let's start here. He's obviously going to counter this. Or I don't know if he will. I think he will, because... Yeah, I think we can force this through. So if he has 2 counter... Oh, okay. So he's going to counter this part of it. We could just leave that... No, I think we... Alright, so let's attack in the air. Or... I mean, he's going to counter this. And we'll try and force through the Atog. I think it's very unlikely that he saved a second counter when he could have kept his Spire Golem alive. So I think this will resolve. Unless it's... Yeah. So he concedes. He has no answer to an Atog, I guess. I mean, he could have other narcolepsies and stuff. He's not straight dead there. So just to reiterate, because he let the Spire Golem die, I had reason to believe that he only had the one counterspell in hand. Because I think if he had two counterspells, I think he would have countered both sides of that Ancient Grudge. Losing his Spire Golem puts him in a precarious situation there. Alright, so we're on the draw this time. I think we want to keep that density of threats. He actually had a really strong draw against us, but it ended up working out in our favor. Actually, now that we know how many artifacts he's playing, I don't think it's unheard of to play more Ancient Grudges, but the one I think is what we want. We want to overload on threats. He's going to be on the play, which is going to be really difficult. But that's just the way it goes, guys. I think this is a fairly good matchup, depending on our draws. And I think I like this hand, so I'm going to keep. Yeah, I like this hand. Hand has all our colors. Chose not to shuffle. So I think we start with the sphere. The star we can hold later in order to try and crack with a Tog. So we're not going to throw anything out into this, especially when we have the opportunity to counter. I can throw a Chromatic Star, but other than that, I think we're fine. Yeah, he just actually let us pass there. Okay, he's just passing again. So it's possible he has some kind of counter spell here. I actually think I'll lead with the Thought Cast. And now I'm going to play the Frogmite. And now I'll play one of these lands. I guess it'll be the green one. And I'm going to pass. Again, we're just playing threats to kind of force out. Okay, and here comes... This is on his main phase. He's gushing. So if I counter this, what happens? He doesn't draw two cards. I don't think we counter it, though. I think it's fine. So that's fine. We're going to Ancient Grudge that. Then we're going to play a Tog. Yeah, I think this sets him back quite a ways. And he has to discard. We have two Atogs, so I think it's time to use them both. I think I want to play my land first. We might change our tune here. An Enforcer. What can we play that for? So we'll play this land. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can play it for 1. Or do we want to play 2 Atogs? Oh, he just concedes. I think he was a little frustrated there with how things panned out. Like I said, I think this is actually a favorable matchup. So I'm happy with the result. That game 1, we just got nut drawed out of our minds. And then here, we're able to grind them down. We get ahead on mana sometimes with all these free spells. And him using that Gush early actually... I think that hurt him pretty badly. You know, we can force out these less relevant threats like Thoughtcast, Frogmite, and eventually he has to react to that board because he's letting those smaller threats resolve, trying to hold up counters to stop the big threats. But if we just pass, he's going to eventually have to tap low to deal with the small threats. So that's what happened here. He has no way to race us with this particular game state. Normally that's their best chance, having some flip delvers to try and race and make some tempo plays. He did not have that, so we lucked out. We win the second round, so we're technically 2-0. We just need to win one more match. Hopefully we'll win them both. Thank you, guys. We are playing against Surukuku, who is a well-known... Oh, we're being censored. Trying to type some Japanese. Surukuku is an acquaintance online. I believe he's from Japan. So this will be great. He's a well-known player of the Nivik Cyclops deck, and we're on the draw. We're going to keep our opponents kept. We've got Galvanic Blast, so Nivik Cyclops, arimasu ka? So we're going to do this. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. So I think I'm going to lead on Great Furnace, but I'm not sure. I think we'd just play one of these out. I mean, I don't think he's going to have main deck Artifact Hate or anything. Let's not overthink any of this. We don't want to show him that we're playing white yet. Speaks English or knows some English. That's fantastic. All right. Whoa. All right, let's begin. This is great. Ikuzo. So let's have fun, guys. Let's have a good game. And we see a Delver of Secrets, which we have a pseudo answer for. We have this Sun Chaser. We also have, a number of different plays we could make. I think we actually want to lead on the Sun Chaser, though. We could play the Atog. I don't think that's great. It looks like he's representing Lightning Bolt, so, I'm trying to just 1-for-1 with his threats. Yeah, he's got the Bolt. So he's owning us pretty hard here. Does not flip. Let's speed up our pace of play. And we're going to take some hits. Ow! And there's a Cyclops, so we want to try and Galv Blast that, and I think we're going to play the Carapace Forger. Let's start with the Galv Blast. This is 4-3, or sorry, for 4. We have 3 artifacts, so we have Metalcraft, is what I'm trying to say. And he has the Mutagenic Growth, so he's got it all, guys. So this is pretty epic. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and crack this for green. We have a Thought Cast, so we could go Chromatic Sphere Thought Cast. He's down to 2 cards, though, so I think I'm going to play the Forger as intended. And he flips on another Lightning Bolt. So let's see what he does here. The Forger can ostensibly block. So he's going to take a look. And he's going to bash. I'm going to block. I mean, I think we want to block, right? I mean, what could he have here to pump? He's got the Bolt. We know about the Bolt. So, I guess he could have Temur Battle Rage, which gives it double strike, but I want to be able to block, so I think I have to block. He's blessing right now. So we're taking 10. And then he has Bolt and 1 unknown. Oh, are we done? We're taking 13. So we have to have an answer to that immediately. Oh boy. So I think we start here and we Thought Cast, because we have to find Galv Blast for this. So we might even crack that, but I'll do this first. So now we have to crack this. I guess we can play the land first. It's another star. So this is our last shot at it. It's a Great Furnace. So that's going to be GG. And yeah, he just kicked our ass. He beat the shit out of us from front to back. He had the answer for everything. So we're taking a dive in this first game, and this guy is clearly a great pilot of this deck so far. I'm not blowing smoke up his ass. I'm just being genuine. He did have a great draw. Like, he had the bolts for the Sun Chaser and all that. So that was pretty intense. So I think I want to cut Fling in this matchup. I'm not 100%. I might bring it back in. It helps us race. The Treasure Cruise is a little slow because we just want to kill guys. I like that Sun Chaser can fight Delvers, but amongst our other creatures, it's probably one of the weaker ones. So it's possible we can cut these. I have a feeling we're going to bring in a lot. We're bringing in 3 Hydro Blasts for his big guys. We're bringing in the Journey. We could bring in some Pyroblasts because he's got to bring in Hydro Blast in this matchup, right? Stops our Atog, stops our Galv Blast. This also kills Delver and Cyclops, and it kills Treasure Cruise. It kills a lot of stuff. You know, it kills Dispel. So I think we want at least 2 of those. We might just bring in all 3. Echoing Truth is okay. I think we'll just bring in the Blasts. So we have... That's 10 answers to Cyclops, 11 with the Journey. We have 8 answers to Kiln Fiend, and we have 8 answers to Delver. So I think this is just how we have to board, and hope that it's enough. I mean, he just burned us alive that game. That was crazy. So we'll play first, and we'll keep this hand. We got some removal. We've got some threats. We got our fixing, so we'll keep. So it's nice to finally get to play against Surukuku. It's a player that has promoted some of our articles. We've mentioned him in a number of articles. Glad to finally meet face-to-face in battle. He mulligans to 6. Alright, let's go. Ikimashou ne. We will start with a Chromatic Sphere. Go, 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 go. And we'll probably follow up with the Forger. I don't think we'll follow up. Yeah, okay, so no Delver. He did mulligan to 6, so that's going to help us. Top, top. Yeah, we'll just start with the Forger here, and I'm going to play the Seat. Sometimes the land sequencing gets a little weird. I think I mentioned this in the last match, where you just want that Seat on the table so you can just randomly thought cast before playing a land. I don't think it's going to come into play here. Looks like he actually might be hitting some issues with trying to get to his lands, so he's a little slow out the gate. He probes us. So he knows kind of what to play around. But he's also got to face this clock that we're going to present. And he finds a land, so... Ooh, that's good. But we're going to thought cast first. Another Galv Blast. So let's add a red here. There's a Frogmite, but we only have... I could play Chromatic Star Frogmite. Is that better than... I think it might be better than a Tog this turn. If we play a Tog next turn... I guess it doesn't matter. I think we do play a Tog this turn. It's just going to do a ton of damage to him. So that's kind of the plan. Yeah, this is... I mean, we have 2 Galv Blasts in hand, so we could actually kill him next turn, I think. That's 8. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 with the Atog. He has to kill the Atog. basically this turn, or I don't think he can survive. Flame Slash, okay. So he could be repping Hydroblast. Wow, okay, that's good for him. But we still are kind of okay. We have 2 answers to his threats. Bottom, top. And here, I don't know if I cracked the Chromatic Star or not. It's a little awkward. No, I think we save it. I think we want both the Galvblasts. So I'm going to go ahead and pass. We may need access to both Galvblasts. But he fended, again, masterfully fended off both of our threats. This is not what I'm used to seeing. Oh man, Treasure Cruise. Well, now I'm going to try and find an answer for that because I don't want him to draw that. We did not find an answer, so that's going to resolve. He'll probably pass to our next phase. But he does not have a creature yet. Still doesn't have a creature. Or he's waiting till he can protect his guy. Okay. So I think I'll throw this EOT. So we want to free up our mana. He's going to protect his guy. Sure. I don't remember if he knows about the second one. I think he does. So I'm going to crack this. See what we can find. Find nothing. So yeah, this is looking bad because now we're pretty flooded. But I mean, he's got 4 cards. They're probably good. We want to find a Treasure Cruise. I mean, the game's not over, but now he's going to throw out his big threat. And it's looking kind of scary. He actually has 2 big threats. So we need to draw big. A Tog is big. It's a big creature. I'm just not sure. There's no point in attacking, so see what happens. He's had 2 Hydroblasts, a Treasure Cruise. So yeah, his draws have been good, and the way he's playing the spells, the tempo he's gaining has been quite strong. And he's got a lot of threats. So he's not going to attack with anything. He's got 2 cards left. I think at this point I can start... Ooh, that's really good. It's really rough, right? Because he has 2 cards. One could be a Hydroblast. We have an answer. But he's got 2 like very vicious threats. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. And he's at 12. I wouldn't, in my right mind, sack more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sack more than 3 of these lands. 3, 5, 7. So hit him for 7. I think I'm going to do it. I don't think we're winning this game without getting him super effing low. So, okay, that's fine. So we just leave up this Pyroblast. I mean, we could stop another Treasure Cruise. For him to 20 us, he's got to get past the Frogmite. Okay. So let's try and see if he gets us another card. Or he uses another card. He's sending them both. So we're at 12. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. I think I counter this. He has up blue. We have to try and counter it, because if it works, then we can possibly just kill him with the Atog. Wow, he concedes right there. So he didn't even. I mean, I guess he assumed we were going to go for it. So we actually get this game out of nowhere. Very surprising, because that whole time his draws, I think, were superior. His board state was superior. That one Atog, I think he was a little ambitious with that attack. But then again, it's kind of like what was happening on our side. We needed to attack because if we don't, we're just letting him kind of have the game and bully us around. And vice versa. If he doesn't attack into us and get that Nivik Cyclops down, could be some problems. So, yeah, I think we want to keep it like this. I wasn't in love with the boarding, but I don't know what his last card was, but he just felt like we were going to go in on the Tog. And I think ultimately we may have decided to do that. So we're 1-1. And I think we're just going to submit like this. So it's down to game 3. And another hand we can keep. It's very similar to the last hand. We've got an answer in Galv Blast. We have a threat in Forger, and then we have some follow-ups. So very keepable hand. I think I'm going to lead on the Citadel in case we are into any... he mulliganed to 6 on the play, so that's going to be helpful. Maybe he'll mulligan further. We can use every mulligan possible. He's debating on this one. Yeah, our hand is a snap keep. He keeps on 6, so he's probably got some kind of manipulation to try and get there. He's got a turn 1 Delver, and we have 2 Galv Blasts, so that's even better for us. I don't know if I finished the Darksteel Citadel comment, but basically, if we end up facing a Gorilla Shaman or something on his next turn, you know, we can kind of... So he didn't shuffle. I think I'm going to let him have that for now. He's likely going to... we have a Pyroblast as well. We have a lot of answers. But we only have that one red source. So I'm going to play this for now. Start racing. See what we can get to happen. He flips on Ponder. Has his third land. There's Cyclops. So we really want to find another red source, because what I'm seeing here is the fact that I don't want to die to any of this crap. I think we have to blow up his guy here, even though we have some more stuff coming. It's just a question of, do I play around mutagenic growth? I think actually I do, because these Galv Blasts can later go to his face. And this is our only red source. So if we screw it up, we're in deep... Well, let's... we're going to draw a card anyway, just to see what happens. So, yeah, at this point... And now we only have 3 artifacts, so that's really weak. But, you know, our deck draws artifacts, so that's pretty good. That's what we're going to be banking on. And we need to find our colors. We can still possibly race this Delver, and we'll see what else he has. He's obviously getting to Ponder to kind of put himself over the top. If we draw a land, I think... If it's a blue land, I'm not sure what we do. So he chose not to shuffle. He has another Cyclops. So we're in race mode. Definitely need a red source. Ah, that's really bad. So if I just attack, we drop him to 12. And the problem with that is he gets just a free swing with that Nivik Cyclops. And putting him at 12 is not really great here. Our whole hand can manage his board if we just find another red source. So I think we're going to hold back, make him use some kind of pump spell. We only have 3 artifacts, so we can't... Alright, so he's got 1 card left. So we can kind of hold up. I mean, we can take a few hits from here. And we need to find... Perfect. Alright, so we can actually leave up Galv Blast. We can play Mirror Enforcer. We can stop on his upkeep, however, yeah, I think that's actually fine. This Delver is also going to start hurting us, but I think we have one more turn to survive, so... I'm going to try and kill one. Perfect. So... I think now we just have to manage. Okay, he's going to 14. We're definitely trading with that. We have the chance. I have another Galv Blast so I can stop his Delver. And then hopefully we just have guys, a mix of different guys that can block the Cyclops. So that's my going to be my attempt to win. He's got a third Cyclops, or no, Gush or something. Yeah, Gush. All right, he's trying to combo off. We're at 10. It's very scary. So he has 2 islands in hand. I think he played his land already. He did not. He's probing again. So he's really going for it. This thing has 10 right now. I may actually double block. I guess double block. I'm really kind of worried now. 2 of his cards are islands, and he bottomed both. 2 of his cards are islands. That's one of them. One of his cards an island. So Battle Rage. That's going to do it, huh? If I block for 8, what does it have? Double Strike and Trample. So I think that's going to get us. That's going to more than get us. So, okay, our sequence of plays didn't actually matter what we did, but this is going to be it, man. We are taking a dive here. We're going 2-1. So we'll just say, our goodbyes. Is this correct? Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Something like that. I think this is correct. I think he knows what I mean. It keeps censoring out anytime I say shit, but thank you to Surukukus. Thank you guys for watching. We're taking a dive this game, but it's certainly no honor loss. It's not. There's no problem with losing to the best Nivik Cyclops player there is. So, congrats to him. We're gonna go into the fourth round, and try and pick up some packs. All right, guys. We'll see you then. All right, guys. It's down to the nitty gritty. We are here playing against Captain America, good old Steve Rogers, the first Avenger. I don't know if I want to keep this hand, guys. We only have 1 land. We have, if he's any kind of blue deck, he can stop our creature. We're playing turn 1 Drum, turn 2 Drum, turn 3 Frogmite, and that doesn't even get us a guy. So I think I'm going to mulligan. Don't like mulliganing. I'm going to keep this because we can do 2 things. We still need... It's better than 5, I think. And not only that, but we can interact. Like the last hand, it's much better if we draw a land, but whatever. This hand just doesn't excite me yet. We have a chance to draw land, but as it stands, I'm not impressed. But I think it's better than going to 4, perhaps. I've been mulliganing less and less. I used to be, I considered myself at least, a player that would mulligan a lot. Blue-red. I think we can beat blue-red. Seems beatable. Do I even crack this? And if I do, I just really want to land. I don't even care what I crack it for. I'm probably not playing a threat. I just want to land. There's a Springleaf Drum. I'd be surprised if he countered it. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a follow-up, but that's okay because I don't think he's going to pressure us very much. Is he going to tap out for a Seagate Oracle? Oh, no! It's the same deck again! And we're going to get our ass kicked because we don't have Metalcraft. Holy crap. Well, you know what, guys? I've been getting my butt kicked by this deck long enough for me to finally give it its due respect. This is the most popular deck, actually, right now. By a small margin. I mean, it's still only 10% of the field or something, but I think this deck takes the biggest hit from the upcoming Treasure Cruise ban. For what that's worth, we're going to get killed on turn 4. This is very sad. Captain America. You would think Captain America would play a noble kind of deck. I don't even know what that would be. There are no noble decks in Pauper. Everything is just very, very nasty and underhanded, and it cheats on mana and plays free stuff and tries to kill people in very unfair ways. So I don't even think Captain America would play Pauper. I think Captain America would play Commander, something fun and casual. He might play Cube. Oh my, is this going to kill me already? Man, I don't have Metalcraft. You know what? I'm going to Gal Blast his guy to make him think maybe he's dead. But I don't think he'll concede. But that's our only chance, is to try and Gal Blast his guy. So we're trying to trick him into conceding. By saying, can you stop Gal Blast? But obviously we don't have Metalcraft. Even if we do try and Gal Blast and he has an answer, we at least get to see what kind of answer he's playing. Gush. He's gushing. He's just showing us more of his deck. Looks very similar to what we already played against. But we obviously can't kill him. I'm just trying to bluff, you know, but it's only going to do 2. And we're going to take 37 damage, or whatever. We're going to take 5 million damage, 32, right? I wonder if he shows us another card. Yeah, he did show us another card. Awesome. 42. I think I took more than -1, but that's just because of the double strike. The first strike damage was enough to get us. Alright, so we see a lot of his deck. We're going to board the same way anyway, so it doesn't matter. He didn't see a lot of our deck. I think we were cutting these, right, and flings. I don't feel too good about this, but we're going to try it. I've been knocked out of many a daily by this deck. That's what I'm saying. I'm finally giving it the respect it deserves. But at the same time, I think losing Treasure Cruise will hurt it. Then again, Treasure Cruise didn't really play a part in most of the games we faced. It's just, I mean, it's just nasty. You have to exactly have the right answer, or they're going to blow you away. They just one-hit KO you. So it's kind of a combo deck in that sense. And I think that combo decks do live in this format. I mean, let alone familiars, which is the most ridiculous deck. One of the most ridiculous decks I've ever seen. Alright, a 1-lander on the play. We will eventually get to Frogmite, but don't know how much I like this. I don't think we keep 1-landers on the play. I think that's just rule of thumb. I think we can get a better 6, so I'm going to mulligan. And it's another 1-lander. I don't want to go to 5, though. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, so let's keep. And we don't have a creature in hand, so currently what we want to do is play the Chromatic Sphere. Having the Springleaf Drum is a little better. The Treasure Cruise makes this kind of a mulligan to 5 already, but still. Let's see what we can do. We do have an answer to his threat. So do I play Drum or Star? I don't think I crack anything. In case we draw a Frogmite, I think we give ourselves one more turn. So we play Drum here. And then next turn, if we don't draw a land, we'll start cracking stuff. be nice if we draw a land and if he has Kiln Fiend, we can just go Forger into Hydroblast. Another drum, so now I think we start cracking. I'm going to add green again because if we draw a land, we can play Carapace Forger. There we go. It was a green land, but I don't think he has counter spells. And we'll make Gust Star. Okay, so we're at least on the board. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully he just has that one threat. He probably has multiple Nivix Cyclops, but we'll just have to deal with it. Yep. Play that bad boy. He might, wait till he has protection up. We'll see. But then we can straight up counter it. Yeah, so here we'll just blow it up. Hopefully we draw into another answer as well. There's a Thought Cast. I actually don't mind doing that. But I'm going to crack this for blue first. And then if we have to get a 4th artifact, we can just play the Springleaf Drum for green. But look at that. So now I think we Thought Cast. Ooh, delicious. So how do we do this? We can play a Frogmite for 0, play Drum. We can play almost our whole hand. But first we'll just Hydroblast his guy. So this is delicious. Actually, we can't play the Drum out, but that's okay. I don't think we need to. I'd rather hit him for 4, by the way, in case you were wondering. I'm not sure if that gets us to Treasure Cruise land, but it might. So yeah, this hand got pretty nutty for us. I think we're vastly favored. We may be interested in casting Treasure Cruise next turn for 4. He's going to have another Cyclops. Oh, it's a Kiln Fiend. So, see what he does. He has up double blue. We can also leave up 2 blockers, which is kind of a conservative play. I'm actually going to Treasure Cruise here, and then maybe we have a removal spell for his guy. But I might leave up 2 blockers as well, because then he needs double Apostle's Blessing. And we have the Hydroblast. So, this is awesome. I think we can leave up... I'm not sure how I want to do this, because there's no way he has double protection spell and an answer for Hydroblast. I think I'm just going to attack for 4. And then I'm going to leave up 2 blockers and Hydroblast. I know it's very conservative, but at this point I mean, our hand is kind of flooded. I think it's much better than just giving him a way to kill us. I think we're in an advantageous position, and I think we'll see what happens. I'm going to try and counter the Nivix Cyclops. The only problem is if he does that main phase, casting the Hydroblast taps one of my guys down. But I don't think then he has enough mana to kill. So we'll try this. Okay, so he's not going to attack. Still don't want to give him that free turn to win. We do have a Journey now. So the problem with that is if he casts Apostle's Blessing, in response, we have to Journey our own guy, which I think is really bad for us. So I think it's actually safer to leave up 2 blockers and make him play around a bunch of stuff. I mean, I guess he could also Battle Rage us to death, but we'll see. I mean, maybe this is a mistake. We're also leaving up open mana, so he may not want to play around that. He's at 8, so now I can Alpha Strike next turn. Make him do something. Okay, so he's kind of flooded too. 6 lands is a lot. And he doesn't have a lot in his graveyard for... He actually hasn't had any 1 mana manipulation so far. So if we get out of this, it's by the skin of our teeth. He's kind of got to go for it, so... Yeah, this is interesting. Well, I mean, again, that whole journey play of journeying our own guy, I didn't want to get into that situation, and they very often have the Apostles' Blessing. So, you guys let me know if you think that was too conservative. And it looks like he's not going to shuffle. No, he did shuffle. Very good for us. So we're putting him in kind of a bind based on our board. Willing to trade this Kiln Fiend for a Frogmite, obviously. There's a Preordain. So it's getting a little dangerous. Double Strike and Trample is ridiculous in these decks. Bottom, and he's not sure if he wants the next card. He keeps it. Come on, Cap, don't do this to me, bro. Gush. Oh my god. Alright, there's the Gush. He probably just drew that. So 2 of his cards are islands. Again, does this sound familiar, guys? Is there an echo in here? 2 cards in hand are islands. He definitely played his land, right? He had 6 lands in play. It's turn 6. He's hit every land drop. And I think we missed one at one point very early in the game. Well, man, I didn't think this was a bad matchup necessarily, but it looks like we're going to get our butts handed to us. He's going to burn something. Ouch. Ouch. So Battle Rage is going to get us, huh? Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise, here it comes. I can feel it. He wanted to do it for 1, but he has to do it for 2. So maybe that screwed up his sequencing. Because he can't also Battle Rage. And if he messes up and taps out like all the way, he's kind of messed up here because now he has to attack, I think. Or he can just play another creature. I think he messed up with his delve count. I think that's what's happening right now. I have no idea. There's no way of knowing. I think he wanted to Treasure Cruise and then Battle Rage. If he currently Battle Rages, it's 26, but I have 4 points of toughness. Alright. So he's going to Battle Rage. But I'm going to block. That saves me, right? Yeah. No, 26 over 4 is 22, so I'm going to lose. No! We're getting destroyed by these Cyclops decks, dude. Oh well. We actually ended up only winning 1 round. That's crazy. Affinity is such a good deck. I don't care what results we get. This deck is insanely good. It deserves better, I tell you. Oh, Apostles' Blessing. Better! We're actually not dead yet. Unless he also has... Yeah, I think he just messed up. I don't think he has the Battle Rage. 2 of his cards are islands. So I'm going to try and journey his guy. He's at 6, so we can also top deck a lot. He might just be showing off like he did last time. He might also have the Battle Rage. Yeah, he does. Okay. Captain America wins the day. Beats us, the villain, Red Skull. And we are dead. So that journey maybe is not the best card in this matchup. It could be something we could consider removing. But we're ending up going 2-2 with a bye. So technically we are 1-2. Not very exciting, guys. Very unfortunate. I've failed you all. I've let you guys down. But I hope this was entertaining. Maybe somehow informative. Let's see what we would have drawn. Nah, just lands. We would have gotten hosed pretty much anyway. So... congrats to the Nivix Cyclops decks. We'll see if they're still around after Treasure Cruise is taken away from the format. I think they will be, because this guy did not get any Treasure Cruise. I don't think we can see his messages. So that's a lesson to you guys. If you watch these videos, like you, Captain America, don't message me after the game is over. Your messages cannot be seen. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this stuff. This is Jason Moore signing off, and we'll catch you guys next time.